heroes arriving in the Abaco Islands.
5 young boys create a rescue trampoline.
The first to run a marathon in under 2 hours.
We have seen what we thought was unseeable.
A relay of dogs will lead blind runner Tom Panic across the finish line.
Nicolas Mahut lost in the French Open, but then his 7-year-old son ran onto the court to give his dad a big hug.
Her and her sister have been heroes for many little girls out there.
I want to thank my amazing mom. She's my hero.
Hi, I love you.
Exactly what I was thinking.
When you are free to be you, it is the best feeling in the world.
He is the Sully Sullenberger of pizza.
My family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
We know deep down what's right and what's needed.
I'm going to fight this.
Who says I can't? Nobody! Here it comes. Never been done in competition. The category is love, y'all. Love!
Use your heart, your courage and vision to fix, to heal, to empathize, to connect. Because living life for something bigger than yourself is a hero's journey.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Power Up Hero Show. My name is Lisa Wisner, and I'm always so excited every Saturday to be the host of this show for you, sharing stories about you being a hero, and hopefully giving you a glimpse into how other people are living truly heroic lives. Because let's face it, living your best life and juggling a busy workload can be close to impossible. Sometimes it feels like you have to pull superpowers from who knows where. And I'm super excited because y'all know my friend Megan. I always bring Megan to the show because Megan knows how to bring the heroic quest with her. So hi, Megan.
Hey, Lisa. I'm so excited to be here. And I have to tell you, every intro that you play is so cool. Like, I have to tell you that my favorite part of the one that you just played is when the baby and the dad are sitting together on the couch.
Yes. And
the baby's like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I know, right?
Oh my gosh, Megan. The first time I ever saw that video, I remember thinking, like, it's a longer video, right? I remember thinking, they're really having a conversation. I mean, the dad is answering and the child is like, and they're like really talking. And it's like, oh my gosh. So, you know, it kind of tells you a little bit about maybe we don't realize our children, you know, they're absorbing so much and we may not understand, but they do, you know. So yeah. I'm glad you like that video. I love it. And I also want to thank Google for creating that video. They created that video that we use every single episode, all about creating heroes in our community. And it's all about searches, right? So people are searching for who's a hero, and that was a hero dad. But Megan, today I want to talk about, as Power Up Heroes, I want to talk about how our evolution of heroes is always continuous. And I know, Megan, we've talked about this before, but I know I've had my fair share of resistance of, I guess you could say, the idea of who Lisa is. And I've done things I'm not proud of. I know we've all done that. But I think sometimes we ruminate so much on what didn't work. And we forget that there's so many things that we've done that we should be proud of and we should be celebrating. Right, Megan?
100%. I think at the very beginning of where you started going with this, you know what I really started thinking about is how these superhero shows and movies are really starting to take a turn. Like before, it was very bright and sunny and very heroic. And now a lot of these shows are showing the reality of what it's like to be a superhero. It's not always sunshine and flowers and getting the girl or falling in love, but there's some real things that happen, and even superheroes have their challenges. And so I like how this show kind of shows that as well, the reality of what it's like to be a superhero, those ups, those downs, and everything in between. Yeah. Because that's where the power is. It's lying in every single part of the journey, and you don't want to miss any of that power. So don't forsake any part of the journey. Don't skip anything. Yes. No matter how bad it hurts. Because your power is waiting for you there.
Yeah, and okay, so here's how it comes, right? As a hero, when something is not working, you should be going, perfect. It's almost like that caterpillar turning into a butterfly, like, perfect, I'm transforming. Something is changing, I'm transforming into something. And so the obstacle is the way for heroes. I love how you painted that picture, Megan. That's the truth of who we are, right? We should be embracing this evolution of who we become and not expect the constant of, oh, I'm this person and this is my job and this is what I do. It's like, no, when things happen, you evolve, right? And you morph and you grow into it. So I want to bring in this quote that actually showed up. I don't know if you use the Momentum Chrome tabs kind of thing. I have a Chrome tab that pulls up quotes every morning. And the quote that came up this morning was, live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. And that's by Mahatma Gandhi. Isn't that amazing? I read it.
Learn. What was the second part? I really like the second part. Learn as if you were to live forever.
Yes, Megan. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So
That's
take
awesome.
it all in, right? So whatever it is, learn from it, right? The good, the bad, everything. And so it actually brings me swiftly into the guest that we have today. So we know that our world needs more heroes today than ever before. We have made it our mission to find heroes in our community and to share their stories. Being a PowerUp hero is all about you being a celebrated change agent in our community. And this show is all about sharing stories behind our nominated PowerUp heroes, the mission they're on, and the life that they have built to be proud heroes in our community. Being a PowerUp hero is also about living your best life. It's about you living your life for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your community, and then guess what? Ultimately, for the world, because you are being a model of what it looks like to truly embrace your authentic self and live the best version of your life, not somebody else's life, your life. All right, I don't know why I point behind me like there's a bunch of people behind me. Whoever is telling you stuff, don't listen. You live your life authentically because this is your life. Today, Megan, we are celebrating and elevating a spotlight on an amazing individual on our planet, Megan, our entire planet, not just a small community, our entire planet. Today, we welcome Sam Sheppard, who is all about sharing stories about how she has learned to embrace change and live without fear. So I'm just going to share a little bit about who Sam is before we bring Sam to this virtual stage for you to meet Sam. Sam is best known as the training specialist and global training lead for Google's I Am Remarkable initiative. And this program, Megan, aims to empower women and other underrepresented groups to speak openly about their accomplishments in the workplace and beyond. Now, to date, she's actually delivered these workshops. She's delivered workshops to over 3,500 participants all over the world. She has trained 5,000 facilitators. Yes, Megan, I am one of them. And she has done this in over 159 countries globally, okay? Wow. Megan, she's also an International Coaching Federation accredited coach. Now that's a big deal, right? I think a lot of people get life coaching certifications, but to really get that international certification is a big deal. She's a trained teacher, educational consultant. She's our people, Megan. And as someone who herself has battled low confidence and limiting beliefs, Sam's vision is to create a world where no one ever has to feel not enough. Oh! Can you imagine, Megan? And I believe she's definitely on her way. So I'm also excited to share that Sam is the founder of her own initiative called This Is Me, which aims to empower introverts from underrepresented groups, helping them to unashamedly show up as their authentic selves and make choices that serve them. Everybody watching today, I want to welcome our PowerUp hero of empowerment, Sam Sheppard.
Hello. Thank you, Lisa. That was quite the introduction.
Well, I had to like slice and dice a bit of it, otherwise we'd be going on and on. But you are a remarkable woman. You are truly remarkable. You are making an impact on this world. I think of the 5,000 facilitators and what impact they're making. It's like that ripple effect. And so I first want to congratulate you on being a PowerUp hero. I want to congratulate you on living your authentic life and being a role model in our community. Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you for living the life you live. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're super excited. So I sense a little bit of an accent. So where are you joining us from?
I'm actually talking to you from London, in the UK, but I was born and brought up in the valleys of South Wales. So I'm actually Welsh as opposed to English.
Wow. Okay, Megan. So because we're totally virtual, let's just kind of like pretend we took a trip and went to like physically interview Sam, and we're at her house right now. So Megan, we're in London. Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome. Don't say those things. I get too excited.
Megan, pack your bags. We're going to London to interview Sam Sheppard. She's waiting for us. We're so excited you're here on the show, Sam. And we want to get straight into it because we've already told everyone that we are calling you the PowerUp hero of empowerment. We've read your bio. Everyone knows who you are now. So we want to unpack, who is Sam? How did Sam become this person who's empowering others all over the world? So tell us, how did you grow up? Tell us about your childhood.
So I grew up in a very small town in South Wales. It was a town where everybody had a very similar mindset, and I really never felt as though I fit within that environment. I was actually badly bullied all through my formative years, but thrived in school. So I used university as my way out of my hometown and into the world, which is what I always crave to do. Get out into the world, travel, experience, and make a difference in some way. I fell into teaching, would you believe? I never intended to teach, but fell into teaching, taught for a number of years. And then I found that my path to what I do now was a series of incidents and events that weren't intentional on my part at the time, but each event or incident led to the next stage in my path, and each time it was something better. So I was assaulted by a student when I was teaching, which led to me leaving teaching and applying for jobs outside of teaching. Got a job as a senior lecturer in education in a university in Wales. Was happily doing that, and then they made a round of redundancies and I got made redundant. And at that point thought, I'm not going to put myself in a position where someone can take my job away from me again. So I went freelance and I started delivering training to teachers and being an educational consultant and doing advisory work. And then I realized that doing anything full-time wouldn't work for me. I suffer from a severe anxiety disorder, and any kind of full-time work, your standard 9 to 5, was mentally draining. But the freelance work that I was doing wasn't allowing me to comfortably be able to finance myself and live my life, because it's so unpredictable. And in education, everything's closed for 13 weeks of the year. So, you know, as a maximum, you've got a big chunk of the year where you can't work. Yeah. So I started exploring what I could do out of education as well as inside education.
Wow. So when you were in education, what did you get your degree in?
So my degree is actually in English with French.
Oh.
Initially, my intention was to do embassy work and travel, and then again a series of events led to me ending up in teaching. So I was an English with drama teacher. Oh. I actually taught in the States for a short while on a Fulbright scholarship.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I know Fulbright. Oh my goodness, that's amazing! And so you speak French fluently.
Un peu.
A little bit. I was gonna say parler français. I don't know how to speak French, but I'm pretending I know. Did I say that right? Can you speak French?
Yeah, it was kind of right. But I'll be honest, my French is very rusty. And primarily when I was at university, I studied French philosophy, French literature, French art, history, as opposed to the language, which is what I probably should have focused on.
Yeah. Okay. So you're in where we are in London, Megan. I'm sorry. I literally just forgot. We are in London, Megan. And so I should mention that I am from Kenya, and in Kenya we did the British system of education. So we had to do French. I think in Britain, everybody has to do French. And so, and you do it all the way until after high school, and you have to speak. You have to kind of know how to. So that's pretty interesting to mention. So talk to me now how this series of events, right? So you went through your college, you had your I'm painting a picture now of how you kind of went through a difficult time as a student, right? You went through bullying. Why were you being bullied as a child?
So primarily my appearance, my hair, which was brighter red when I was younger, and I was taller, bigger, but also I was very academic, and I didn't put much effort into being academically high achieving. So the combination of those factors really made me a leper in my home environment. So I was always the person on my own. If I was friends with someone, they would go and join the bullies at lunch or break, and I would just be alone. And it was a very, very challenging time in my life. Like the first 18 years of my life were constant bullying and constantly be socially isolated.
Wow. And I know we're going to get to the point where we're talking about this is me, but it almost feels like, do you feel like you have to kind of start off in these formative years having that experience of what it feels like to be disempowered?
I think not necessarily in the same way that I was, but I think that actually our greatest challenges lead directly to our greatest learnings and breakthroughs and shape who we are. And I think even people that might have had an easy childhood, which is many of us, let's face it, but even people that didn't face the sort of challenges that I did will have had events in their life where they'll have doubted whether they're enough and doubted their, faith in themselves and, their sense of self, because that's very human. And it's something that I see on I Am Remarkable all the time, is people feeling that they're not enough or doubting their own ability to do and be who they are.
Yeah. Well, before we go into I Am Remarkable, which you actually just plugged in right now, Megan, I think we have some people in the chat who are watching right now.
Leticia said, hello, everyone. I absolutely love Sam's story, soaking it up like a sponge, trials and triumphs.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So Leticia is actually also one of our PowerUp heroes. And so we're so excited that you're here, Leticia. Welcome to the show. So I think as we're thinking through your story, and we're probably going to get to how you got to Google, right? How did you go from freelancer to working for Google?
So the step where I was at, where I needed to get additional work beyond what I was already doing in education, because I was successful at it, but there was too little. I managed to get an opportunity to become a facilitator for a tech startup who were working with big name corporations in the field of digital transformation. And so through that role, I was working with organizations like Facebook and then banks in the UK like HSBC to do mindset and design thinking training. And I worked with, within the UK, the Ministry of Justice to train their leaders in having an innovation mindset. And then that led to other opportunities through that experience, delivering primarily soft skills training, like presentation skills. And through the reputation that I built in the work I was doing in that field, I got recommended for the role at Google when a vacancy became available.
Wow, that just sounds crazy. I love how you're literally, it's like our playbook, Megan's and I, because you talk about the heroic quest as like you don't know what's coming before it comes. You're just going through your heroic quests, and then next thing you know, an amazing opportunity. And so whenever you landed at Google, did they initially say, we want you to be the global lead for I Am Remarkable? How did that transition happen?
No, so the role has evolved. But before we get to that, because it links to what you said, Lisa, right before I got the Google role, I'd had probably the worst year of my working life in terms of successes and failures. So I got made redundant twice. They were both part-time roles because I built a portfolio of still doing my teaching related work and the other bits I was doing. But I got made redundant twice in the space of 6 months. And my other freelance work dried up completely. And no matter what I tried, I wasn't getting anything. And I just locked myself into a London rent. I'd moved from Wales to London because that's where the work was. So I was having to pay a very expensive rent each month with no work coming in for the best part of the year. Actually ended up in Kenya, funnily enough, for almost a month doing some voluntary work. And then when I came back, I got the call asking if I was interested in the role at Google. So what you just said about like the challenges, for me, every time I've had to face what at the time seems like quite an overwhelming challenge, when you ride it out, it leads to something even better. And actually Google wanted someone who was full-time, but I was fortunate enough that they agreed to take me on even on a part-time basis, because I wanted to, again, not be full-time for anyone. I wanted to be respectful of my own mental health. And I knew that I would burn out on 5 days a week in a kind of normal role. And they did agree to that, but the job title wasn't global training lead at that point. It was training specialist.
Yeah. And
it's evolved over time. I've actually just celebrated 2 years of being in the role.
Oh my goodness. So I need to mention this, that I first met Sam when I became a facilitator of the program that she runs now at Google. And she was a joy. Literally, I mean, I didn't bring up any pictures because there was other people in the pictures that I don't know if they would have been comfortable being on the PowerUp Hero show. But the point is that when I was learning to facilitate, you know, Megan knows me and I love delivering, you know, I love delivering on stage like, yes, I did that. And I was sitting back being trained by you, but watching you like, oh my gosh, like we're learning how to be remarkable, but she is remarkable. Like, what? You know, you were so amazing. And we have some guests who have come on, and I want to bring them on because they are such amazing people. When you were sharing your story about walking in your alignment and purpose, right? So you had all these struggles, but you knew what you wanted. How many people would tell Google, no, Google, I don't want a full-time job. I want to, Megan, can you imagine yourself telling Google? I can't even see it. I can't even confidence. Telling Google, sorry, I don't want to work for you full-time. I want to work for you part-time. That's crazy. Crazy.
I have to say to myself, I have to. I live life on my terms. That's just the way it is.
You're amazing. You're amazing. And then we have Leticia saying twice and 6 months. Wow, right? And I like the term you used, which is being considered redundant. So since we're in London, right? That's a term that in our, I guess in here in America, we use the term being laid off, right?
Yes, it's the same thing as being laid off. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the fact that you use a term that actually, it actually hits closer to the heart, which is you have just been considered as redundant in the equation of our success, kind of.
I didn't even think about it like that. I literally thought she was saying that she was irrelevant.
I mean, I can't take credit for the word. It's just what we would say in the UK for being laid off.
And Leticia also says, respectful of your own mental health. Love it. Being your own advocate is important. And now we have Megan's friend who is super amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, everyone, have a wonderful Saturday. Love the topics that you're bringing to the community. We serve heroes every single Saturday. So if you're new to our community, make sure you subscribe wherever you are, because we're all about sharing heroic stories. And we are in the midst of sharing a heroic story about Sam Sheppard, who is our PowerUp hero of empowerment. So Sam, I think as we're going through this, one of the things I wanted to just talk through was maybe what your superpower is. Can we just, as we're talking through you being at Google, we figured out now that you're all about empowerment. Can you tell us a little bit about what you think your superpower is?
I think it's openness, because even though others have always said resilience, as you may have guessed, I've overcome numerous challenges over my life. For me, I think I see that I have the biggest impact on others because I'm very open and transparent about the challenges I face and about just everything in general. I'm an open book. And what I see is it allows others to feel comfortable and free in being themselves. So, for example, I've mentioned my anxiety. I'm very open about that. And I've had numerous people telling me that it's allowed them to feel that it's okay to feel anxious and to experience anxiety, but also to be open about it themselves. And that has been very freeing for them. So I believe that's my superpower because it does empower others.
I love that. It's about trust, right? I guess when you're open, then people can trust you more.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, I guess so. And that's integrity is one of my core values, and linked to that very much trust and being open and honest. But I am just an open person anyway. And for me, I've found that if I'm not trying to hide things about myself, it is very personally freeing. And ultimately, you know, that's the most empowered someone can be, right? When they're showing up as themselves, as I said, and you mentioned before, unashamedly, that's when you're free, that's when you're fully empowered. And it's great if you get validation from others, but it's not essential.
No, it's not, right? And that's definitely something that we always try to talk about, which is don't expect others to validate you, right? You be your best version of yourself. And as Leticia says, break the stigma, right? And you know, one of the other things when we talk about you being open, I like how you said the transparency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like sometimes we live this life where we are kind of trying to live a life to live to people's expectations of who they think we should be, whether it's our parents or our friends, you know. And I think when you went through your bullying, there was possibly that expectation to like change your look, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of life, right? Life kind of makes you feel like you have to be put in a box.
Absolutely. I mean, I always felt who I wasn't enough, wasn't right. I always felt a certain level of shame about myself, to the extent that there's over a decade of my life where not a single photograph exists, because I was so ashamed of who I was that if someone tried to take a photo of me, I would have a panic attack. And the fact that I'm actually on video talking to you both today shows how far I've come in that journey. Yeah, you know, it really does impact your sense of self, and the pressure to be conforming to societal norms is immense. And I think all of us face that pressure, and it's something that we have to make our own personal choices regarding. But, you know, the photo that I sent you today, there's no makeup, my hair isn't styled. You know, I very much believe this is who I am, and you can accept it. And if you don't, that's okay. Thank you very much for showing the picture. Yeah, that's okay. But I will not be ashamed of who I am any longer.
Okay, so I'm going to show the picture again because it's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you know, and I just have to point out that, I mean, you're glowing and you're just, you know,
well,
glowing. You're all red.
Yeah, I've got rosacea as well. It's linked to anxiety, so it means I go red. So literally glowing.
Yeah, you're literally glowing. I love it. You're owning it. You're like, yep, I have this superpower where I literally glow.
I do. You can find me in the dark. It's very handy.
I love it. I love it.
So
Okay.
Sam, I am like really excited. I really want to know what this I am remarkable thing is, because I've been seeing it all over my feed.
Yeah.
I've been seeing ads. I've been seeing all kinds of stuff. But before we get into that, I just want to ask you, because we already know you're a very open person, and I absolutely love that about you. I feel like I'm the same way. Sometimes I share a little too much, and then afterwards I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just told them everything about myself. But we're affectionately calling you a PowerUp hero, and being a hero definitely has its own challenges, its own unique ups and downs. But tell us, what does it mean to be a hero from your perspective?
I actually feel very humbled by the term, because it's not something, even though ironically I spent all this time on I'm Remarkable, where I'm helping others to celebrate their accomplishments, it's not necessarily a perception I think of when I think of myself. But I guess for me, it's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway, because all the things that I'm doing now, it doesn't mean that I've stopped facing personal barriers or challenges. It just means that I push through them, because my bigger purpose is to make a difference to others and to help others. So I guess if I'm going to accept and honor this title that you've given to me, it's exactly that. It's helping others to see the amazing selves that they have through my learned experience. And even when I'm still facing challenges, feeling that fear and doing it anyway.
I know.
That was like the perfect question.
I know.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
So start to tell us a little bit more about this I Am Remarkable, because like I said, I have seen it everywhere and I'm like, that looks so cool. What is that? So
Megan,
yeah.
Before she talks about it, I have a video. So
okay.
Sam, we'll take just a short little break.
Yes.
For those of you who are watching, we are celebrating Sam Sheppard, who is a remarkable woman, and she is a global training facilitator and lead for Google's I Am Remarkable program, but we have just recognized her as the PowerUp Hero of Empowerment. And we just found out from her that her superpower is openness. And so we're just gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we'll unpack more about what this I Am Remarkable program is all about. See you in a little bit.
Please write down your answer to I'm remarkable because.
So I'm remarkable because.
It's really hard. Okay, I'm done.
How did it feel to write it?
Weird. Hard.
Would you mind reading it out loud?
Oh my god. I'm remarkable. I'm remarkable because all the kids that I have taught actually love me and they still remember me till this day.
After I turned 40, for the first time in my life, I also tried things that I'm not very good at.
I can rhyme really well, but don't ask me to right now.
I'm funny. I think I am.
I follow my dreams once I figure them out.
I am remarkable because I challenge myself every day, even if these are small challenges.
Because I want my life to have meaning.
I'm remarkable because I survived cancer when I was 17.
Because I'm optimistic.
When I'm in tough situations, I stop and I smile. I'm a pretty good mom. Like, I think I'm really doing a good job. That's it.
So how did it feel to say it out loud?
It felt kind of nice to say it out loud.
Pretty good.
I think it's easier to say why we're not doing that well, to criticize ourselves.
You feel like you may have only one or two things to say, and then you realize that you have more, and you have more.
There's so many great things going on that when I forget it, all I have to do is think about these things, and then it's like a chiropractic adjustment in my mood. It's like,
it makes you think like, what else can I do?
Welcome back, everybody, to the Power Up Hero Show. We just took a short break. Today, we are celebrating Sam Sheppard, who is our Power Up Hero of Empowerment, and we just unpacked one of the journeys that Sam Sheppard is on as a global training lead for I Am Remarkable, which is an initiative by Google. Megan, welcome back to Sam Sheppard. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you.
So, Sam, tell us about I Am Remarkable.
Okay, so I Am Remarkable has been around for around 5 years now. It was founded by two female Google employees, both coincidentally called Anna, and Anna Viner still heads up the initiative. They developed a workshop which initially they offered just to other women Googlers, but very quickly they realized it didn't just apply to women. So it's a workshop that has the intention of helping people see the need to own their accomplishments and celebrate their achievements in the workplace and beyond. It's open to everyone and it can benefit everyone, but primarily it impacts those from underrepresented groups, because when you're marginalized in any way, you're more likely to experience limiting beliefs and imposter syndrome and less likely to engage in self-promotion. So it tends to be those from underrepresented groups, which of course includes women, which are impacted and which the workshop tends to focus on. But we've had people from majority groups experience the benefits also. And alongside that, aims to generate conversations and raise awareness about the confidence gap and unconscious bias, and really help to achieve equality within workplaces.
Yay! Oh my gosh. So I know when I first discovered I Am Remarkable, I thought it was a joke. I thought, oh yeah, right. I'm never gonna get in. You know, that's what I thought, because I thought, oh yeah, right, this is what they're doing. And Megan, you may not know this, but I did the session I did when we were working together.
Oh, okay.
You were probably in your office, which was right next door to mine, and I was in the other room with Sam. And so I think the most exciting thing for me, Sam, about this program is that what you mentioned, which was, it's not just for women, it's for every underrepresented group. And in every community, the underrepresented group is what it is, right? It's the minority group of the community. It's not what the society says. Does that make sense?
Exactly that. Yeah, exactly that. So the intention of the facilitator training that you took is to empower other individuals to take this to their personal professional networks, and they can use our resources. The core content is the same, but then they can tailor according to the relevant groups that they are actually working with.
Yes. And I know you and I literally just vibed on me teaching I Am Remarkable, facilitating I Am Remarkable in Kenya, in my language, in Swahili. So, and I was thinking, it's going to help me because then I get to practice speaking, you know? So, mabibi na mabwana pale mliko, niko hapa, muking. If you want to engage in I Am Remarkable training, I am here for you. And so I'm super excited to maybe start engaging in Swahili with I Am Remarkable. That's going to be amazing for me, I think. I'm going to be able to start practicing my Swahili and start getting back into, I guess, being my Kenyan warriorness, right? Because I feel like I'm forgetting how to speak my own language. So
Mambo, Ukuvipi.
Oh my gosh, Mambo! Oh my gosh! I can't believe you actually said Mambo. Oh my gosh.
What is Mambo?
It's just, hey, how's it going?
Yes, it's hey. And then she would say, well, I'm hoping she would say Poa.
Yeah, Poa. And then she said Mambo VP. And that's like, what's the news? What's the Mambo is like news. So it's like, what's the news? It's like, Poa, everything's cool, you know?
Cool.
You're speaking slang, like heavy slang, Sam.
I had a good teacher.
Oh my gosh. I want to high five you from right here. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Okay. So if you're just tuning in right now, we just unpacked that I Am Remarkable is a program that you can engage with. So before we leave I Am Remarkable, I want to put the link on here. So the program is called I Am Remarkable and .withgoogle.com. You can go and sign up for a workshop, right? So what happens is somebody signs up for a workshop, and then after they attend a workshop, then they can sign up for facilitation, right, Sam?
That is absolutely correct. And, you know, to date, we've reached over 200,000 participants across 159 countries worldwide. So they'll be joining something that's really rather special. And we've got over 8,500 facilitators too, and we'd love to add more.
Yes, yes. And so for those of you who are interested, I'm actually a facilitator, and I co-facilitate with other facilitators. So if you're afraid, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, don't worry, we do it together, some of us. So we get together and we decide we're just gonna do it together, right? So we can share in the achievement of going through this I Am Remarkable program. But do we have a goal for this year, Sam? Do we have a goal of what we want to do for this whole entire year? Is it 1 million? What's the goal?
300,000 participants.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot. 300,000. So where are we at right
making
now?
good progress.
Yeah,
we've exceeded 200,000 so far. We're well on our way.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we definitely need more people who are thinking about being empowered, right? Yeah. And so if you feel like you want to learn more about being remarkable, I love how Leticia Wilson said it's a global movement. It essentially is, most definitely.
It is. Yeah.
And welcome to Suraida, Nanis James. Welcome to the show. By the way, everyone, Suraida was our very first PowerUp hero. We're so excited Suraida is here. Leticia Wilson, we need to sign up. You do. So what I'm going to probably do then for my community is host another workshop. That way you can get through that workshop and then become a facilitator of the session. And yes, Leticia agrees. So there, we got 3 people now. And Megan, right, Megan?
Yes, 100% me.
There
because
we go.
there's definitely something that you said, Sam, that I was wondering, do they cover this in the workshop? And then Leticia mentioned it also. She said confidence gap, new term. Mm-hmm. So I think we want to learn just a tad bit more about the confidence gap, what that looks like. And then as you were telling me, I'm like, probably checking it off and like, yeah, maybe there's a confidence gap there somewhere, but we want to learn more. So we definitely need to have a session. Please let us know when it is, because me, Soraya, Leticia are there. We are there.
We will book it, and we'll definitely make sure that all of y'all who are part of the PowerUp Hero Network find out about it. So make sure you subscribe so you can find out when we're going to be hosting the I Am Remarkable session. But let's get back into unpacking this PowerUp Hero that we have. And so, Megan, we're just going to have a little bit of fun right now, and we're going to play what we call the Fast 5 Finger Favorites. And this part of our show is really about celebrating our hero and finding out what do they like. And so, Sam, we're going to ask you a series of questions to kind of unpack what kind of a person you are and what our PowerUp Hero of Empowerment enjoys. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Born ready.
All right, let's. Oh, I love Megan. Ready, born ready. You heard that?
Yes.
I love it. Okay, Sam Sheppard, what is your favorite book?
So I've got two. Non-fiction, Marianne Cantwell's Be a Free-Range Human. That's what got me on my journey of being self-employed. And fiction, George Orwell's 1984.
Ooh, I love that. So I don't know about Free Range Human. Have you read that book, Megan?
I have not. I'm writing it down.
There you go. I've got it.
Oh my goodness, you totally have it right there. I love that's like a picture for whoever wrote that book. You know, I feel like when you said Free Range Human, I was thinking of my neighbor who has chickens. So we have chickens in our fence on the other side. And I'm thinking, is it literally like just go live your life, right?
Yes, so how to live life on your terms and how you don't just have to have the standard career trajectory that we all think we have to have.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a definite turning point in what I was doing in my own life. It really put me on the path that, you know, led me to what I'm doing now.
I love it. Okay, Sam Sheppard, since we are in London with you right now, Megan and I, we wanted to ask you, if we were to have a movie night with you, what would your favorite movie be that we would be watching?
It's a movie called The Crow. It's my favorite film of all time, but it's probably a little bit niche. It's Brandon Lee's last ever movie, so Bruce Lee's son. And it's kind of a cross between an action movie and a love story.
Okay. I haven't heard of it. Have you heard of it, Megan?
Are you talking about like the old Crow, like with the
1994? It's proper
white face and the squiggly blacks? Yeah, I've seen it. I saw it like a really long time ago when I was a kid.
Yes, Megan. Hardly anybody's seen it. So
my dad made me watch it. Hi, Dad.
How's your dad, Megan? Because I don't know that show, that movie, but I will watch it. Okay, and now we're going to a dance party, Sam, and we want to know, what are you going to request from the DJ? What's your favorite song?
You'll probably know this one, Sauti Soul, Short and Sweet.
Are you kidding me? You
Not kidding me. I was listening, when I started listening to music, that's what I was listening to, waiting to come on.
I'm going to have to look that up too.
If we were not live right now, I would have totally gone to Spotify and we would be like dancing to that song right now. Oh my God. So how much time did you spend in Kenya? I mean, the fact that you still remember Shang, and then now your favorite song is Sauti Soul. Like, how long were you there?
Almost a month. So I went solo, traveled a little bit and volunteered for a little bit.
Oh my goodness. How amazing. You have a good memory for a month. Oh my gosh. So that's amazing, Sam, that your song.
I made friends who I've stayed in touch with, so they make sure that I keep it up.
That's amazing. So for those of you who don't know, Sauti Soul is an amazing band, amazing group in Kenya. They have amazing songs. And so if you want to get on Spotify and follow Sauti Soul, do that, because they're truly amazing. And our next question for you, Sam, our fast 5 finger favorites. What is your favorite quote?
So it's, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. And I think it's usually attributed to John Lennon, but also it's anonymous a lot of the time as well. So I'm not sure which.
Ooh, I love that.
Mysterious.
It is. Everything is not okay. If everything's not okay, then it's not the end. So just
basically, yeah.
And doesn't that give you peace, Megan?
Yeah, and it really does have a lot to say and do with your journey, Sam.
Yeah, right. I live by it.
I think it really speaks to it like so much. You should probably open your whole life with that.
Tattoo it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. And now to round off our Fast 5 Finger Favorites, we're going to ask you, Sam, how do you wake up in the morning? If a power-up hero of empowerment woke up in the morning, threw those covers off, how would they do that?
Sleepily. I'm not a morning person. So for me, the best sort of morning is one where I wake up naturally. But if I have woken up naturally, I will literally put some music on and dance my way into the day.
Oh my gosh, I love that. She doesn't even have a routine. She's like, dude, I live naturally with the universe. And what the universe asks me to do, that is what we're doing. I am free range.
I like literally, apart from the days for Google where I have to get up at a set time, I will not set an alarm. I'll get up when I wake up. I'm a night owl. I'm probably up very late anyway. Yeah. And I just work on my own schedule. I don't subscribe to the, you have to be up at 5 a.m. So I'm not my best me at 5 a.m. I will get out into nature and go for a walk very soon after I've gotten up. And I dance and listen to music when I get up. But other than that, I follow what's right for my body and for me.
Oh my gosh.
I'm on that plan.
Megan, you're like, yeah, can we just like check into that? Is there a place where we check in for that?
Absolutely. Come join me. It's great.
Come join me. Oh my gosh. So we're literally going to London now, Megan, so we can go live with her. That is amazing. I love that. And Leticia says, dance into the day. So I feel like I wish we had some music so we could have a dance party. But that is freedom. That is real freedom. Like when you really think about it, because you know, I think I always say we sometimes have to go back to our natural state because your body knows what your body needs. And so if you need to sleep in, your body will sleep in. If you need to get up early, then your body will say, we're good, we rested. It's okay. You can wake up before the birds wake up. And so you can. So that's really nice that you have set up your life to be exactly that.
Exactly. And that's why I make my schedule as flexible as possible and kind of on my schedule to accommodate it as much as I can.
I love that. And one of my friends, actually, Tim Leongo, says, Sauti Soul! Exactly, right? We got Sauti Soul in here. And Soraida's like, Leticia Wilson, did you get a picture in your head when she said this? Yes. For real, like I think anytime that I have, I guess a show or something, or even beginning, like I always try to add some dancing in there because I just always feel like there's something about waking up and celebrating the day with some movement. Does that make sense?
100%. Like I'm not the person who needs to be doing yoga in the morning or breathing exercises. I'm like, somebody wake me up. Somebody blast the music on because I need to get going. Like I don't need to be calm. That's at the end of the day. Right now, I need to be woken up.
Yeah. And Leticia's like, yup, Soraida and me. Don't forget me, Leticia. I sure did. We are dancing together. We all are dancing together. So I guess as we move on with the rest of the show, I am most excited, Sam, to hear about this brand new initiative that you have going on, which is called This Is Me. Can you unpack that for us?
Sure thing, yeah. So as I mentioned, I've struggled my whole life with very low self-esteem and poor self-confidence, and I've kind of hidden away and hated on myself. And it's only really been in the last few years that I've managed to get myself to a place where I'm happy being who I am and where I'm doing the things that I want to do in the world without feeling ashamed and without being limited. And tied into actually the work that I've done on I'm Remarkable, where I'm hearing other people talking about their limiting beliefs, often as part of our discussions at the end of the workshop, I realized that I could help other people with my own journey, and the fact that I have, got, I guess, like a framework of things that I've done that have worked for me, that have helped not just with my anxiety, but with my low self-esteem, and at the core of it, feeling enough, feeling okay with who I am. The This Is brand has very much been my brand for some time. So I actually, for many years, have run a dance-related website. It's a dance called Kazomba, called This Is Kazomba. So I'm known for that in my personal networks. And then my website is This Is Sam Sheppard. That's my personal brand. So it was a natural evolution to go with This Is Me for what I wanted to accomplish, because I want everybody to feel it's okay to be and to own whoever they are. And I've done a little bit of it through my coaching, but more recently I've thought actually I could put something in place that would really enable me to build that community, because I would really much like to have that wider reach and to impact more people and help as many people as I can.
I love how you said that. And, you know, one of the things I did want to bring out is I am not very active in Clubhouse, but I noticed that you are starting to be very influential in the Clubhouse app. And I know that actually Leticia Wilson, who's on here right now, is very active in Clubhouse. And do you have a Clubhouse program that you're starting, or a show that you're starting on Clubhouse, which is a new app?
So yeah, I've literally just launched a club on Clubhouse called This Is Me Club, funnily enough. I'm This Is Sam on Clubhouse. I'm going to be running a room every Thursday at 4 p.m. UK time, which I think would be about 11 a.m. East Coast time. And then quite early, is it like 8 your time? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
4 p.m. UK time, which is all about this concept of feeling enough.
Yeah, don't forget, Sam, we are right there with you in London. So we are on the same time zone right now.
All right, so you're approaching 8 p.m. right now.
Yeah. We're like literally right there. We're almost about to go have dinner and drinks after this, celebrating, because we flew in to interview you. We're super excited. And we're only social distancing right now. We're in different rooms for let our minds travel, because I know travel is your passion, right? It's my passion. I know it's Megan's passion. Megan goes all these places, and now we can't go.
I miss it.
I know. I miss it so much too. And Leticia came through. Yes, mate. Leticia, I love Clubhouse. Now iPhone and Android friendly. Yes. Yeah. So we definitely want to unpack more about what is your room, I guess, in Clubhouse going to be about. So do people just come in your room and hear you talking? Are you going to interview people?
So there may be some interviews going forward. But I really, at this stage, just want people to have the opportunity in a very safe environment to be able to, again, be open about their experiences. And we can just have an open dialogue where everyone is welcome, where we can just share our own experiences and help each other to move through challenges, celebrate successes, etc.
Okay, so it's like a place where we come for coaching, it sounds like.
Kind of, but more kind of, more. I see it more as just a supportive community, kind of where it's like we're all friends. We can just be open about what we've got going on, and like realize actually probably through those discussions that we're all experiencing quite similar things. And, you know, don't get me wrong, even though everything I've said to you so far today, I have come a long way. It doesn't mean that I'm not facing challenges. You know, I still, in I Am Remarkable, we talk about that muscle that you need to flex. I still have to flex that muscle, the confidence muscle, every single day in some capacity. So it's about giving people an opportunity to flex that muscle, which is slightly different to what you might do on, say, an initiative like I Am Remarkable.
Yes. Wow.
So Sam, I cannot let you, I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, I have to ask this question before she goes. So as a PowerUp hero, we know that there's a journey, and you've talked about the journey, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. What are some of your weaknesses or challenges of being a hero? You know, Superman has kryptonite, and so many other heroes have their hangups, or that thing that just like, oh, I know I've got to fight extra hard right now because that's my kryptonite. Tell us, what are some of your weaknesses or challenges of being a hero?
I am a people pleaser. I find it very, very hard to say no. And that's really rooted in everything that I've already talked about, because I think lots of us, if we struggle with our confidence, we feel that we only have value to other people if we're pleasing them and if we're saying yes, and we get our validation from others. And again, even though I've got much better, and I'm much better at establishing boundaries now and being very aware of what I need for me and balancing my desire to help others with going into people pleasing when it's not necessarily healthy or good for me, is something that I still do struggle with. because it's so inbuilt within me to want others to be happy and to, you know, go that extra mile.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I almost got emotional there, because that is the fact of, I feel like, my life, right? It's always like, what do you need from me? And I want to help, right? But then, I mean, I think sometimes we have to realize that we have to set up boundaries. Like the fact that, Sam, you're able to tell a company like Google, sorry, I can only give you part-time Sam. Because full-time Sam needs to wake up naturally. Does that make sense?
Basically.
Yeah, that's power, you know? It almost feels like what did you have to go through so that you became that person who's okay with that? Because I feel like we settle sometimes because we're afraid.
Yeah. Like I said before, feel the fear and do it anyway. That's how I live my life every single day. I mean, anyone listening to this or watching who has an anxiety disorder will know that every single day is a battle. Like you're overthinking every conversation, every experience. You're having physical sensations that you're having to deal with. And so to be able to function, then you're feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So I guess it's flexing that muscle, right? Like my whole life has been a series of challenges, but overcoming them has actually in the long term led to many benefits. And now if someone said they could magically take my anxiety away, I would probably say no. Even though it is very challenging, it brings a lot of positives. And so I like to focus on those and just work on managing it as best as I can.
Ooh, the obstacle is the way, everyone. Remember what we said. Embrace your challenges, embrace the challenges. They are the way to your freedom, to your success. And I want to hear about Kizomba dancing. What is that? Like, I know you brought that up and I'm like, what is that?
So Kizomba is an Angolan dance. So it's from West Africa, from Angola. It was born at a time of the civil war in Angola, and it's actually a genre of music as well as a dance. But it was what really kept the community together at a time which, as you can imagine, was very difficult for everyone. And a lot of Angolans went to Portugal to escape the civil war. And Kizombadas, the parties that they went to where they would listen to the music and dance the dance, is again what kept the community together. So it's a dance that I discovered probably around 6 years ago now, fell in love with it instantly, and the music really spoke to me also. And it was something that's become very popular in the West, but in my home community in Wales and in the kind of nearest city, it wasn't very popular. It was stigmatized. People were seeing it as something that it wasn't. And hence I built the This Is Kizomba community to challenge those stereotypes. And basically build a following for the dance in Wales, which is still going now. Actually, I'm not there, but it is.
Oh my gosh! You know, Sam, it does not matter what community, what it is. You are just slaying stereotypes like everywhere. You know, like what's going on over there? Slay. You know, Sam's here. She's gonna take care of this. I love that. I love that about you. Your story. It feels like every community you go into, whether it's a dance community or, for example, the engagement community of education, right? The stigmatization of marginalized members of communities not being seen as enough and them not promoting themselves because of gender norms or whatever it is, right? Cultural norms. I think it seems like when you come in, you're like, this isn't gonna work. Like, we need to do more. I love that. I love it. And so that's why we're calling you the PowerUp Hero of Empowerment. And I feel like we definitely have some fans. We have Leticia saying,
thank you.
Yes, Leticia appreciates you for being our PowerUp hero. And for sure, Suraida's like, yes. And I think when you were talking about anxiety, it's probably when Suraida wrote this, you know, thank you for that. Yes, it feels like I can't move at times. And you know what, Suraida? That's okay. Yeah. That's what you need at that moment, is not to move. You know, I always say sometimes we don't listen to our own need to be silent. Like, regardless of whether somebody else feels like we have to have action, maybe we need it to be silent, you know, in movement and in voice. Slaying stereotypes. Yup, that's right. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we've actually kind of reached the end of the show. So as we're kind of closing up the show, I'm just gonna ask you to let us know whether there's anything we haven't asked you that you would like to share with us.
I don't think so, actually. I've really enjoyed this conversation. So I'll just take this as an opportunity to say thank you so much once again for this nomination and for this interview today. It's been an absolute pleasure from my part.
Fantastic. And so usually the last question we ask you is, imagine yourself 5 to 10 years from now. What do you see?
I see someone who's a better version of the person that's sitting in front of you today, because I will have had the benefit of 5 or 10 years of learning. Even when I fail, I learn. So I'll be a better version of me, and someone who's hopefully by that point fully location independent and making a difference on a wider scale, which is my ultimate vision and purpose right now.
I love that. So you're not putting yourself in a box of, I'm going to do this number. It's just the evolution of who Sam is.
Exactly that. I'm very, very much into self-development and always evolving, always getting better, always learning, and impacting others in a positive way. Okay.
And so as we're coming to a close today, if people wanted to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
I've got a website, which is thisissamsheppard.com, and you can connect with me there.
Fantastic. And I think also we know that you have a show starting on Clubhouse, right? Next week.
Yeah, Thursday at 4 p.m. UK time. And yes, my Clubhouse is This Is Sam. This_is_Sam.
Okay. So Sam, you may be my beginnings of what Clubhouse is. Because
yeah,
I hear about Clubhouse and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what this is. Another app I have to like learn and figure out this other social media. Like, so I'll get into it. And so I'm really excited. I feel like from the moment I met you, you seem like the kind of person who just wants to help people to be happy. Does that make sense, Megan? I don't know if you understand what I mean.
100%. I mean, everything that we've talked about is in the benefit for other people. So yes. And then secondly, it empowers herself and it allows her to flex her muscles that have always been there, right? And little do we know, ours have always been there, but Sam is here to help us flex them. And it's just like this circle and this revolving thing where we're all helping each other. And so I know me, Leticia, and Zoraida cannot wait to actually become I Am Remarkable women so that we can help others too, because this, whatever's happening is like, needs to happen more.
It's fire. Whatever those musical ad-libs are, I don't know where they came from, but it's fire, Megan. It is fire. And so let's get everyone ignited and on fire for the work that Sam is doing. So Sam, I am so excited to get engaged with This Is Me. I want to have this embracingness of like everybody embracing who they are, right? So you show up as your me, right? I need to probably bring back up your picture because I feel like everyone needs to see this photo, because when you sent me this photo, you actually sent me a paragraph of why this was you. And it was like a disclaimer of this is me and this is why. And I loved it so much. And it was truly remarkable. It was. And so you are remarkable, Sam. And I want to thank you for being our Power Up hero of empowerment. I feel you have empowered our community. So thank you so much for sharing with us. But most importantly, thank you for living your heroic life. And I know amazing things are to come because clearly you are on a mission and you are an agent of change, making an impact in your quest of this life you're living. So thank you so much for being here with us.
Caribou, Asante Sana, Lisa.
Oh, Asante Sana. Thank you so much. Bye, Sam.
Bye.
Megan, she went to Kenya for a month and she still knows how to speak Swahili.
I know. Talk about like a real lifelong learner. How he retains it. Actually, like keeps it in their brain.
What? Sarita says, we are remarkable. We are. If we were to lock arms right now, we'd be like, boom, boom, boom. Fist bumps, everybody. We are remarkable. Leticia is like, yes, yes, yes. And I like how Leticia said, slaying stereotypes. Yes, we are all worthy. And representation matters. And so one of the things I can tell you, Megan, about this I Am Remarkable movement is the point that a lot of times when you hear people talking or promoting themselves, it's always the same people that you see spotlighted, right? And so the goal here is to recognize that we have to be able to show that every single community, every marginalized community has people to be celebrated. And one of the things that I'm always aware of is that if you don't promote yourself, there's not another person coming to like share your story. Like there's not a salesperson behind you going, I'm your PR manager. I will tell your supervisor what you have done. No one's there. You have to do that, right? Mm-hmm. And so, so the I Am Remarkable program for me, when I went through it, it's actually what led me to the path I am on right now, Megan. You may not know this, but when I went through that program, it really made me realize how I was playing small and how I was not being a true advocate of, yes, I can do that. You know, it's not a matter of waiting to get the recognition to feel like now you can talk about that recognition. You should be able to promote yourself, because one of the taglines in I Am Remarkable is that it's not bragging if it's facts, if it's the truth, right? If it's facts, it's not bragging. You're not bragging, you're stating facts, you know?
I love that. Yeah. I love that because, you know, I'm not a real active person on social media. And there's a reason for that. And that is exactly the reason. I'm like, I don't want to put that because then it's going to seem like I'm bragging. I'm like, nobody look at me. I don't want the pats on the back. And then, you know, and so, but if it's fact, hello.
It's the facts. And can I tell you another thing? Once you join the I Am Remarkable community, you get to realize that you're in a group of people who will cross-share, comment, and edify you when you post. So one of the things that I share with people that I participate with is connect with me on LinkedIn and all of these things, and tag me in your posts, because I want to share with you. I want to elevate you just as much as you are elevating yourself. I want to be there with you as well, because it's just literally all about everybody seeing all of us as living this heroic life. You know, life is not easy. And I can't say like it's difficult for us, because I know there's a world out there where it's like 100 times more difficult for someone else. But at the same time, we all have to realize that living this authentic life is about truly stepping outside of our comfort zone. And when you put yourself out there, you wake up in the morning like, should I delete that post? Why did I say that? Why did I post that, right?
Every single time.
Yeah. And so it's about a community of love, right? So we just need to just continue to build this I Am Remarkable community. Again, I think we're 200,000 strong now. We're going to get to 300,000. I want to get to 1 million. I'm like, where's the millions of underrepresented people in our community who can be part of this program? So we're going to get there. Thank
you so much for playing that video. I'm a very like visual person. And if anybody plays a video for me, it's like, I'm right there. And I absolutely love the part of the video where there was this mom and she was like, I'm a really good mom. I think I'm doing a really good job. And it was like, without a question, like, I'm a great mom. And I don't hardly ever hear moms talk like that. Usually it's mom guilt and mom shame and mom selfishness. And, you know, and I was like, good for you.
Good for you, mom, for embracing your Mother's Day-ness, right? We just had Mother's Day where everyone tells you you're a super mom. But it's like, live that every day. And there's so much to unpack in I Am Remarkable. So I will definitely host a workshop, Megan. So we will definitely be able to host I Am Remarkable workshop. And I think I may even just have a link to drop for everybody. So if you just give me a second, everybody, I'll be able to find the I Am Remarkable link where you can actually sign up today to join us in I Am Remarkable session. So if you go here, everybody, if you go to poweruptalks.org, you're going to be able to find out more about I Am Remarkable, so you can sign up for sessions that I teach and my co-facilitator, Karuna Thomas, also teaches. Once you go to one of our workshops, then you are eligible to be able to sign up for a training session where you get to become a facilitator and then use the opportunity to share in your network on how they can become remarkable. So that is amazing. Okay, so Megan, I want to unpack just a couple of things I wrote down that I highlighted. One of the things that that I heard was that Sam is all about openness and transparency and trust.
Yeah.
And I almost felt like, okay, so she's empowering people, but it's through this lens of authenticity. And did you feel a little bit of a sense of Brene Brown in her?
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that now.
Yeah, I did feel that. I felt like, even when I was introducing her, I felt like, is she like sisters with Brene Brown? Because when she was talking, it felt like she's literally taking the Brene Brown concepts and actionalizing them, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So Brene Brown has written the book, she's on Netflix, she's done all this, but like how do we do it, right? So now here comes Sam with the I Am Remarkable movement through Google. And then we have this organization she's founding, which is about empowering introverts to be empowered and get this, I don't know if this is an actual word, to be unashamedly showing up as their authentic selves. And I think that's what really got me, because I think when we think about what Brene Brown does is she kind of creates that spotlight for you where your vulnerability is your strength. Yeah. But then it's like, okay, now what? You know, like it's like, what do I do with it? You know? Yeah. So I feel like Sam is actualizing what Brene Brown is doing.
Yeah, I absolutely love that about her. And the openness is, I think that's the key. And she was talking about in her clubhouse how she wants to create this safe space. And I was like, well, how is it safe? Tell me, because I do want to share, but I need to know that it's safe. But she makes it safe because she's the first one to tell you everything about herself. So I really love that.
Okay, wasn't it funny? She's like, I'm glowing perpetually. Like, I'm just a natural glower because I have anxiety. Lucky me, you know? I love that. I absolutely love that. And then absolutely love everything she said. And I have to mention, there is a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Have you read that book, Megan?
I haven't read it, but I had that written down too.
Yeah, so there's a book. I can't remember who the author is, but get this, Megan. I actually, you know how I have my sleep kit, Megan? Yeah. I have my sleep routines. I actually have that book as one of my sleeping meditations. Because the lady, she has it as an audiobook. So wherever you go look for it, you'll be able to find the audio version of it. It may be on YouTube yet, I think. And when that lady is talking, I feel like it's just kind of meditative. And so there's a book. I just want to mention that. There's a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway.
Okay.
I love that lady. She's amazing. And everything we go through is not okay. Like, what was it? Everything is okay. If everything's not okay, it's not the end.
Yes, that's it.
Then that's the end. I loved that. Did you like that?
I really, really like that. I think it tied in perfectly to what we started the show with.
Yeah.
And it ended it really nicely too, because it's true. When it's not okay, then there's more to come. Like, and you could wait in that anticipation, right? We talked about that at the very beginning.
I did.
Like you saying, okay, here it is.
Yeah.
Let's do it, because there's something great coming behind it. So
yeah, and I always think of this. It's really hard when you're going through it. You know, when you are going through. I actually have a journal that's called my Epic Failures or Epic Struggles journal, right? And the reason I have it is because I have to remind myself that when it's tough, I should be smiling, because that's when the butterfly comes. When Megan, you know my story. When Sam was talking about how that year when Google hired her was her toughest year, that's when her contracts were failing. The year when my amazingness happened with NBC, that's the year that my business was failing. You know, like it's like the recession happened, my business was failing, and then all of a sudden NBC's like, you want to be on the show? It's like, what just happened? You know? So it's like you need to pay attention when the tough is going. Then that's when you get going. Almost, you know, that's when you need to be ready and just embrace it. Embrace that situation, because it's gonna move you. It's gonna change you. It's gonna metamorphosize you. And that's how nature is, right? It's the ever evolvingness of yourself, right? You're always changing, and it's necessary. It's necessary.
Yep. And I like how you said, just smile anyway. And if you got to smile and cry at the same time, then do it. But keep that smile on your face. Wipe the tears, because it's true too. I love how, like Sam is saying, how she needs to be true and authentic to herself, and she wakes up whenever she whenever she feels like waking up naturally, lets her body do the natural thing. And I think when we're going through those hard times, it is important to let your body do the things and feel the things that it needs to feel. But it's also important to remember, put that smile back on, get out there, do what you need to do, and make sure that you're, climbing up that mountain no matter what, even if it's with tears on your face, you're climbing.
Yes. And Leticia's like, Smile by Kirk Franklin. Who does not like a little bit of Kirk Franklin in their life? Love Kirk Franklin. Okay. So I am actually going to end the show, Megan.
Yes.
We could go on and on about Sam, but I want to thank you so much. And I also want to point out that we are having a show tomorrow. So for those of you who don't know, we're having a show tomorrow, and we're going to be celebrating an amazing individual. So if you're used to joining us on a Saturday, guess what? We have a Sunday show for you. We are going to be celebrating Dr. Amy Aldridge Sanford, who is a TEDx speaker, author, communicator, scholar, university administrator. She is actually best known as being a social justice activist. She is definitely all about changing our community. She's written books about it. And so we definitely want to unpack more about this amazing individual who is our Power Up hero. So join us tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow for another show. So Megan, we'll see you next time.
See you tomorrow.
Yep. Bye. So there you have it. We had a great time today sharing with you about our Power Up hero of empowerment. And we unpacked the superpower of Sam Sheppard being openness. If you are listening to this show, if you are watching this show, I want to let you know that we all go through struggles together. And that's the whole point of this Power Up Hero show, is to tell you that you're going through a journey. There's absolutely no heroic quest where you literally show up and it's like, once upon a time, it was perfect. That does not exist. And that is a movie that nobody is watching. Everybody wants to watch that movie where you come in and stuff's happening and you're just like, what's going on? And you're dodging and you're flipping it this way and you're flipping it that way. Whatever it is you're doing to pull those superpowers from who knows where to live your authentic life, that is what this show is about. So I need you to know that when the struggle is deep, that is the moment of excellence. Be aware of all of the challenges you're facing and make sure that you know that your struggles are really here and now, making you the hero you want to be. And it's like Megan said, they are shaping you into the best version of yourself today and into your future. You are beautiful, you are amazing, and you have the capacity to be everything that you want to be. So go ahead, live your authentic life, and be the hero that you're meant to be, not only for yourself, but also for your community and also for the world, because our world needs heroes today more than ever before. I want to leave you with a quote. It's actually an unknown quote. Your beauty, just like your capacity for life, happiness, and success, is immeasurable. And I want to add that you are a hero. You are an empowered hero, and you are a Power Up hero. If you want to find out more about the Power Up hero that we just interviewed, go to our podcast page, which is poweruphero.org. And if you know a role model in our community who we should interview and spotlight on our show, the link again is www.poweruphero.org. We want all the positive attitudes, and we want the resilience, and we want the commitments to being Power Up heroes in our community. Again, be sure to subscribe to our show. We are everywhere on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, LinkedIn, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We recently got on Amazon Music, so you can actually ask your Alexa to play the Power Up Hero show. So make sure you ask your Alexa to play the show. Anywhere and everywhere that you tune in, you can watch and listen to the Power Up Hero show. I hope that you are educated. I hope you are inspired, and I hope you are encouraged to be a Power Up hero, because our world needs heroes today more than ever before. I hope you make today a Powered Up day. Bye.